cause I feel like I have nobody to turn to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else, chose you instead. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. You tried to convince me it was all in my head, and I felt like it's not you, it's me instead. I wanted to rock with you, roll with you. Said you was my baby girl, then you left me too. Everything was kosher, perfect like a poster. Then I got word that you wanna leave a picture. Off with somebody else, off with the jerk. With the shame on me, I really thought that it could work. Off with somebody else, off with the loser. Shame on me, I really thought we had a... Lately I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to turn to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else, chose you instead. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else, chose you instead.
Yeah. Well, me could hear you. You know, she said
I did.
she said she'll be back, but
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
I don't have my other device. Usually I have another device that I listen from and kind of get an idea of what is being said. So okay, somebody else is saying where's the sound. So that's obviously we're not here. And I'm gonna go and move and see if I could get my other device because I usually have that to kind of double
but
check.
is you that can't hear, or they can't hear none of us at
No, I
all,
think
or
it's
is just
everybody. I
you?
think it's everybody. Oh, it's just me?
everyone said that's better. I just turn it down and I could hear, so I feel like we good to go.
Okay,
Okay.
so you, everyone, you can hear all of us.
Yeah,
Let me
just
see.
from the feedback on the wall, you know, if you could hear all of us, let us know you can hear all of us, and let's see if we can
Yeah.
restart.
See Lataya said that we here, so we good to go. We good to go.
All right, cool. All right, give thanks for that.
Okay, so
Appreciate it.
we need to go back over our introduction, or we just continue from where we at. If
Um,
anything, Banky, you could probably just kickstart, because maybe more than likely they might have missed
So
most
didn't
of
hear nothing
everything.
then. All right, so just let me say good evening, and once
Yeah,
again
kickstart.
Alan, just want to wish you a happy belated birthday. I mean, hope you enjoy and get some rest and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That is always good for the soul. So let me say good evening to the folks in the Federation of Oli and Liam. Good guys to Real Entertainment Network, link up with the topics and everything agriculture. You know, it's almost to the end of the month, so we definitely will touch on cannabis and some agricultural works and some different stuff that I'm doing over at Manster's Last Stop and Shabba's Organics Link Up. Have some workshops coming up this weekend on composting, which is always good to start the nutrition of the soil of the environment, the soil, and the importance of recycling waste in the environment and where you can save money, and composting, turning waste into, which is humus, is something that is very important that can build the soil and nourish the plant, very fish, everything work in a nice ecosystem. So let me say good evening to the folks also in the neighboring islands, St. Martin, Saba, and Asia, the US Virgin Islands, Montserrat over there going to have election coming up this Thursday, I think. Also the folks over in Antigua, the US Virgin Islands, Statola, and the folks over in Dominica. You have my Virgin up in Grenada and over in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and St. Lucia. Also the folks over in the diaspora, North America, from all the way up to Canada, come straight down to the Florida Keys and Texas, Atlanta, and Chicago. Also the folks over in Europe, and we have students over in Costa Rica at Earth University, and also in Taiwan, and still also in Canada, and even in the US, wherever they're at, and especially those in the agriculture sector, because we don't really find much students take culture, and we really got to really realize if we got to exist for survival, food is our fuel, and we got to really. And a matter of fact, my daughter is writing a essay on soil and about 1,500 words, different, and send it in, because we tend to overlook the importance of our environment and don't realize we are a small place, but we can produce plenty food if we do it right. So the land space in being big, and there's a lot of issues with a lot of soil when it comes to degradation and stuff like that, and not proper management. And that is why I want to start with composting, and then next month a lot of an irrigation system, because all these things come together when it comes to farming in an ecosystem. Because the beauty about the land my uncle used to farm and that I'm managing now is that you have different gradients. I use technique and high density farming in some areas where to protect the soil, because it's on a slope from heavy rain, especially in the rainy season. So you get the cover crops. So different techniques of planting watermelon and tomatoes and all this. I'm setting up as a hands-on institution where trading I have, I'm just passing it back for a small fee. I could come to the farm to just chill, but for children in primary school is $1, high school is just $2 to enter and get a tour of the farm, and adults is just $5. So every end of the month we'll be having workshops, and you will have send out the flyer with the different advertisement, and you just, and it's easier for people to really send me a WhatsApp messages instead of calling my phone, because I get too much phone call at daytime, especially since I take over the farm and producing melon from different area and stuff like that in general because the idea is to sell wholesale to the general public as I usually do over the years. Yeah, so you know how I used to do it on the New River. You understand? You get so I do
Yeah.
it continuing the same thing, and then once I bring me potato and me okra coming in and tomatoes, I'll just package them as $5 bag and variety pack, mix up tomato and bell peppers and add okra on this. It's same $5. You know what I mean? And if you want to buy the pound, it's $2, 3.50, all wholesale prices and $5 and to the general public because as a farmer, you're planting in bulk, pumping whatever. The general public who want savings will come to Manso's last stop. Those who don't mind buying stuff for $5 a pound and we can get it for $2 a pound. I mean, you understand? We have a different hierarchy in our society, you know. But those who want true savings and want safe and food to eat, you see what I mean? And when you come to the farm, you realize how the farm is designed. You can drive on the farm if you want to have lunch, whatever, sit down somewhere, chill in your car, and just enjoy the scenery of the farm. And that's cool. You know what I mean? It's all about just respecting the rules of the farm. And that's all it is. And that's the concept of the design of the farm at the same time an educational tool. But we'll get more into that as we go on and on. Yes, and how going on with you in California?
Yeah, well, greetings. It it's again days are not as hot as before, so a lot of the summer crops are going out. It's just a pleasure to
Yes.
be here on the platform again. It's the end of the month where we usually talk agriculture and with a special emphasis on cannabis. And so, this evening we will touch a little bit on the cannabis and we'll touch a bit on what's happening in regards to agriculture in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And also, I guess we would also um, jump into some of the things that Alan would have on his list. Because usually Alan have a list of things for the topics that we would address, But yeah, that's basically. So I just want to say, good evening to everybody, the Facebook, followers and those who follow us on YouTube and those who are locked in wherever in the world you are at this time. It's a pleasure having you guys on another edition of everything agriculture and the topics link up.
Alan.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yes, son, me just been to remind you, this is not the last Tuesday, really and truly, we giving Reese a break because as I was telling everybody, we been going all over the place. We would get footage from New York and Washington DC where they had St. Kitts and Nevis events. We would have gone on
Okay,
to
my bad
Miami.
people.
We would have gone on to Miami for the Miami Carnival, and there were also St. Kitts and Nevis events down there. And on the weekend on Saturday, he had Dr. Packer barbecue competition.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I
and
saw
Mm-hmm.
a bit of that.
yeah, so all of that coverage there is recent. You understand? So due to them
Great
things there.
works.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
sir.
So
You gotta big
we
up my boy
deserve
So,
a
Papa.
people,
Paka.
I
You
guess
don't
I'm,
know
I guess
Paka
I'm,
doing
I'm
great work.
just accustomed to. Sorry, I was just saying, too accustomed to coming on the last Tuesday in the month. You know what I mean? I guess. But I don't know. Nothing still. What we'll do, we just get into the topics and whatever else pop in. You know what I mean? We just hop into that. You know.
yeah, definitely. Um the first one I was gonna well, yeah, start off with a light topic. Um Dr. Packer barbecue. I end up on reach from the flex to it. I reach late, reach in the night, but I reach nonetheless. And especially due to the fact that I didn't get to go Culturama. That was the closest I get to because we get a surprise big six performance with wow.
Really?
And then
Nice,
you
nice,
Yeah,
wow,
nice.
I'm
yeah,
telling you.
Nice.
yeah. I
Big
saw
up
that,
Big
and
Six.
it was nice. That was a nice interjection there in terms of dropping in Big Six because he's a new artist. One,
Yes.
a lot of people might not have. went home for Culturama this year would not have heard him perform. And then to get that performance live in an event like that, that is kind of mainly, I think it's Nevis audience, mostly to speak audience, it was quite interesting. And I think Odyssey also got an opportunity to showcase, their talent, and I think they were in their element as well, and they really did put on a performance which was well received by the audience as well. So excellent, Dr. Packer. I've been hearing about this grill off and so for a number of years now. I must, give some respect to Dr. Packer in terms of seeking to keep up at that and has gotten it to the level where it is. I saw something more recently again where I didn't even realize my boy was so big in this cooking and grilling thing, rice and queely, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah, man.
I seen some dishes on display, and so I like, well, I mean, I know he was into sports, but I didn't know that
Yeah,
the man is a master chef and so. So enough respect, my student, you know what I mean? I gotta give some kudos to you, you know what I mean? That was an element of surprise for me in that regard. I did hear of the grill off competition. I would have heard about it in past years. But like I said, I didn't even know Royston was up in that kind of league, and so I must give him respect. And I'm understanding that this is what his second year. I mean, like a back-to-back
yes.
kind of championship. That man, that is
Yeah,
wonderful. That is impressive.
and
Yeah, man. Did you
I
been
think
doing anything for a while there
I,
over in
I think he
Newcastle,
also got
just
a third
where he live
place.
at?
Huh?
I think
That a
Are you
I
saying
roast?
think
a lot?
he also got a third place. He done went in a
Nice.
year prior to that as well. I think it's like
Oh, okay. Okay,
2022 or
man, that's
21. So yeah,
that's
Yes.
that's amazing. And another thing too, that I want to be able to tie into that as well is that people need to recognize that that ties into agriculture as well, because that is adding value to
Of course.
agricultural produce. The meat, whether it's meat, chicken, fish, whatever it is, it was as a part of animal husbandry in terms of farming that comes from, and then the other things that is used in the dishes, the cucumber, and I see him had it looked like it was dragon fruit and so on in his display and so on. All of these, so it helps people to kind of see also the marriage between agriculture, um, culinary, tourism, and all of these things, and how they really intertwine, and how we really need to really zoom in and creating our own um, food, so we could have a bit more talented chefs and whoever else are into these kind of culinary experiences, which can help a lot um, in terms of, as I said, marine tourism and agriculture.
and
Yeah, I
and
mean, this event that is going on is big. Is a big marketing strategy for Nevis also. So I think the tourism can also link up with Paca and see where they can help him in a kind of way, because you don't know who these different Caribbean people from different places still visiting in going to the event. So we can work out niche things, and is that has been growing and is what over. How long this going on? What, Alan? Close 7 years now. It's been a while.
man, it's been a couple years because I know I've been
Yeah,
wanting
time.
to go for a
Yes,
while.
and
And
plus, and he's just bringing in people, artists and bands from Nevis, and sync it, so it shows that, I mean, his interest in really promoting Nevis. Kai could be using other DJs and stuff like that, so he's really pushing Nevis culinary and young men and those within that sector when it comes to cars. At the same time, Israeli agriculture is promoting too. You see what I mean? So the Minister of Agriculture and those within tourism supposed to really sit beyond and realize there is no box and see things what it is. Because as you mentioned it, animal husbandry, the meat source, and then you still add vegetables, because you're not gonna do just grill and not don't have vegetables to garnish and go along. You understand? So it's really a total package. And so it's really about, and these guys think about health too. I mean, I purchased stuff from the young gentleman Queely. I mean, he really do specialize in roast corn, and he do chicken and different stuff, and very dedicated. So I admire him. You understand for what he been doing. And the first time when he was get sent out to be part of the competition, I was very happy for him. And I mean, I did let him know that. So stuff like that, I like to say. So you really got to really big up Packer for what he been doing out there in Miami, And I talked to Parker himself, and he's just doing it just like love. You see what I mean? So you really got to get people like those who are ambassadors, and we really have to give them the roses when they're alive. So Parker, big up yourself.
Well, my experience with Dr. Packer go back to in the 90s. My
Of
father
course,
used to carry
the
me,
longest party,
yeah, them what? Oh my
the longest
god!
party at Christmas time coming up.
And
Party
and
not done.
then also I get experience watching like the Kentucky Derby and them kind of thing there, and the
I got
Bellman
you.
Stakes. Yeah, horse racing done by
Yes,
Dr.
yes.
Packer. So I know Dr. Packer. Dr. Packer for me is like a legendary horse.
Of course. Yes,
You
yes,
know what I'm
yes.
saying? He just know
Of
how to
course.
invite people, and
People's
he
person,
is
man. Never dull
he,
moment.
he is also a representation of the Navision spirit in a lot of the
Yes,
things how Dr. Packer does move and carry himself. So
yes.
respect to Dr. Packer. Also respect to Adi Siban. I mean,
Easy, big up.
I had to go there and daps the man them and tell them. I also like I get a chance to have a conversation with them after, and I tell them, boy, this was important, you know. This was just as important as when I went Miami Carnival itself. Never mind, it's
True.
just a little neighborhood thing because people come here from all over the place.
Of
Atlanta,
course. That's
from
yes.
Boston, people drive for
Yes.
hours. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then
I,
also one thing why I give them a compliment to, it was a grown, it was a big people thing. And me say,
mm-hmm.
I realize I start off and everyone, you know, but I
Mm-hmm.
realize it's big people there, and then I was able to adjust and
True.
yo, really put on
Nice.
a good performance. So like respect to the man them. I
Well, that shows the
even
maturity of the band we have grown. You see what I mean? To
yeah,
adjust to suit the audience and stuff like that. And that's a beautiful thing.
and I
And
like the fact that
I must say as well, it was really a good showcase of Nevis' talent. And in terms of the performance of the band, even though it wasn't a huge audience, the band still performed as if they were performing for a huge audience. And so I must commend them for that. It wasn't like, I mean, okay, bye, we ain't got a lot of people here, so we must really put out the effort. And so those
Yeah.
guys, the ADC band, from what I saw, because I would have only saw the clips from Real Entertainment Network. And so basically, these guys, they really went all, I mean, Big Six too. I mean, his performance, even, I mean, people were actually asking the man if he done. I mean, if he ain't got nothing else, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they were really looking forward for Big Six coming back to sing something. I mean, so it was like that. It was really like a wow experience. It was like, wow, you
True.
really give us a wow and then stop. So,
Yes. Yes.
things like that was really, 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 touching. Like I said now, the grill off competition, which showcased a bit of Navy's talent, and I guess people from all over too who would have competed. But at least we could see that a Navision was successful at least 2 years back to back in the competition, showcasing the fact that yes, we have that culinary skill. Yes, we can be creative with our food and things like that. And I mean, Dr. Packer, I must say, have done wonders because another thing, Alan, but Dr. Packer is not like a politician. He's not like a well-known, like big businessman, so to speak. Just a humble little brother who decide, well, hey, what I mean, I'm gonna do these things and bring our people together. I mean, it is just incredible. When I look and I looked in the audience, I mean, I saw people who I haven't seen for years. I didn't even know that it's out there. They be like seeing the dance. It was like,
Yes.
yeah, I ordered this person there, but like that. So it was,
True.
that energy, and I mean, I wasn't there personally, but just by watching and seeing what was going on, I said, these people really just out enjoying themselves, having a good time, and
Yes.
really demonstrating what Nevis life is all about and how we live. So enough respect again, Dr. Packer. I know we have been on this for a good bit, but yes. So yes, if you want to move on to the next agenda on the topic, I mean, and topics is up to
No,
you.
it
But
was
I
important,
must really
to give the man the roses. Eh? It was
yeah,
important to give him his
give people
roses.
the credit when they
Yes,
do good. And because
of
sometimes we
course.
love to criticize our own people a lot. And my thing is, when they're doing good, yes, be the first also to give them the credence and the credit for doing good. So ADC, Big Six, Dr. Packer, and all the others behind the scenes, Royston and all the others who I don't know and who would have been a part of the
Yes,
organization, and I mean Real Entertainment Network for going all the way out, to come and bring those clips and so that we can experience it, because I guess without those clips we would not have been able
of
to
course.
experience or get to see and know, I mean, of that. So we still can't leave out that aspect. Real Entertainment Network, and Reese, we're filling in for you. We know you need the rest and all that. Ira, enough respect for the work that you guys have been seeking to do for us as a small little island, making our space in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. So enough respect.
The other thing I wanted to say too is that um, people have been, and I know I am one of them who vocally have been telling the band them, release your music, take control of your destiny, and do what you got to do. At least control the things that you are able to control. And I like the fact, as I was saying, that Odyssey, basically all year Odyssey are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Odyssey do things like they go down on the beach and play music, set up the thing and play music. So I glad to see now when the reward is on the other side for the hard work. And even though it's just little clips, even in talking to one of them and them people from New York don't see. And as long as you could see the possibility, then that
Of
open
course.
the opportunities for different things. Um, you don't need no visa over England, for example, when you're from Nevis. And everything is about the US. Even he got the large populations I think it and Nevis people, and even just like because even though it was a Singis and Nevis thing, Jamaicans pull up, different people pull up, but you know, no, me just been happy to see Nevis people, so much of Nevis people are jumbo. It make me feel happy.
Well, as you talk about England, and as you bring in entertainment in England, I think one of the things too is the fact that we as a people don't pay much attention to the people who are involved in organizing and promoting and pushing such events. Those things are just like agriculture, to some extent, just kind of kept on the back burner. And when I think of England, right, um, we have a champion in England who has taken the festival and carnival, Leeds Carnival, for all these years. I don't remember for how much years now, is being pushed by a Vision out of France, originally from Nevis, and is given a whole heap of recognition for the contributions that he has been making in terms of maintaining the Leeds Carnival over all of these years. And a little man from Nevis, and he doesn't get no recognition. He don't get the kind of recognition that he should get, and the kind of support. And he has done, I mean, great works. If you go and look up anything, if anytime you look up Leeds Carnival, you find in Arthur France, a little man from a little village in Mount Lily in Nevis. That's where
Yeah,
and he's related to um, the late Sir Nathaniel France as well. And I think they were both born on the same day, um, the 6th of September, which is National Heroes Day as well. So things like these, and this is why I'm saying something in terms of our history and pushing these things. We National Heroes Day. We talk about national heroes, but then after that, there's nothing in terms of really keeping up, you know, the legacy and what these people do and so on. And you
Oh
have
no.
people like
Oh no.
Arthur France who is still
Oh
alive,
no.
who is still
Oh
alive.
no. Oh no. There's something. There's something.
What's that? What's that?
The show what NRP does keep on Monday night time. But
What I'm
let me get
thinking.
to that.
What?
You say in a you say
That's a
just
late
now.
moment.
You say just now
uh,
in a gonna show what talk about the history and all them kind of thing there. I'm telling you, the NRP show. What they just got a
on a
Monday
Monday
night
night.
time. What? Historical. But God,
Yeah,
finish your point,
but
and
yeah,
then we're gonna get right into it.
yes, yes. So I was just saying, you know, like sometimes we really need to um give credence, especially when our people are alive. And you have a man like Sir, I mean, no, well, he's not Sir, but Arthur France, who has been given
Mhm.
recognition by some of the highest um, authorities in England for the contribution that he has been making over the years in terms of maintaining that festival. And I mean, a lot of people, even in Nevis, don't even know who is Arthur France. And so, you know, things like these are things that we need to pay homage to, you know. So
But
maybe even
didn't
like,
sometime, yeah, son. But then there was a large
mm,
delegation went up with Ministry of Tourism and for some anniversary a couple of years ago. We had masquerades and different people for the same gentleman at the Leeds. What, about 4 years ago or
I
something
think
like
so.
that?
I think there was, yes,
About 30 something of them
yes, I
also?
think I
About 30
remember
something of them?
I remember something like that.
Yeah,
Yes, a good bit of people went up to do some sort of presentation as a part of it. But that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You know, we need to really, you know, keep this. I mean, Nathaniel France. I hear politicians even during when they had national heroes there. I would have heard politicians saying that Sim Daniel is a lone national hero from Nevis, and that is not
Mm-hmm.
true. You know, a lot of people don't know that Joseph Nathaniel France was born in Nevis, was a man from Monley, and so things like these. Sometimes we really need to, you know,
But he's
push
not
and
a
not
national
just talk about
hero.
them, but also
But is he a national
he's
hero?
a national hero. Yes, yeah, Nathaniel
Nathaniel
France is a
national
national
France.
hero.
hero.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay,
yeah.
okay. He and
Yeah, he's one of the
okay, I
national
got you.
heroes. But what I'm saying,
Southwell with
he
Southwell. Yes.
because he did a lot of his work on St. Kitts, people don't recognize the
Yes.
fact that he's an Division. So a lot of his contribution to the federation was done under the Labour Party as he was in the village. And this, when it comes to the man political history again, the man has never lost, never lose his seat.
Of course.
When the man talk about Joseph, if you ever hear the man talk about
Hey,
Joseph and France in terms of
hey.
politics,
So,
yes, sir.
would you like to do the historical show with Mr. Steve Manos?
If I would love to do the that's a history show. I think it's a political show. I mean, if there's something
Listen,
that is
listen,
along
The
the
man
line of
being
history,
the man
we would
the man,
want to
sir.
discuss it.
you gotta give
I,
it
if I'm
I
asked to discuss it, if I'm
okay.
asked to discuss the
Well,
topic on the program,
let me
I would do
explain.
that with it.
Let me explain to you, as I have a frustration with the Nevis Reformation Party at this particular moment in time. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, I would have said a couple of weeks ago, I feel like Mr. Manos is a good man. I feel like if you hosting the politicians, then the politicians are the star. Let me tell you something. You realize a Wednesday night, the boss don't need nobody to introduce he, not to say good night and do. The boss don't need nobody to talk to unless you call in. You and you got to say the lyrics where he like. You understand? He ain't need no co-host. When he got co-host is when the boss ain't there and them man need co-host. You check it out, them man need somebody to bounce off. Not in that circumstance there. Mr. Manos last night took over the show again, in my estimation. Mr. Manos said he want to ask a question. The question take 8 minutes to ask. 8 minutes, Mr. Manos take to ask one question. One single question. In the question, he still had an invitation to Mr. Joseph Parry to call into the show. Mr. Joseph Parry called into the show, and you know what the man started to talk about? 1988, when Sim Daniel, and 2008, when this happened. And all what me ask myself, how any of them thing there are gonna help you win an election in 2027? So go ahead. That's my first frustration. And with regards to what you were saying, that now history show. What me just described to you is not a history show. Let me tell you something. Parry talk about half an hour, you know? And Parry ain't say nothing in the half an hour to tell me about Rohan have transformative policies. Rohan is a good candidate. Rohan is a man of integrity. Parry not tell me nothing like I say. You know? Parry tell me about the beef and then when Sim Daniel and and when Vance Amri not even alive right now. Why be happy do? That then our history show. Go ahead, your son. Tell me. Oh, you laugh. You only go laugh now.
No, because what happened is a bit of what was being
No, I
said.
listen.
I got frozen up a little bit, so I didn't hear what was said. But I understand what you're saying in the sense of bringing back some of the history and Mr. Manners um, as you mentioned, using the platform to speak more history than even the guests on the show. Um, and I understand the point that you are making in the sense. I think I hear you said it some point ago that some time ago, sorry, that he should probably have his own show, to deal with, presenting
let me
maybe
let
even
me
the
tell you
history of the
something.
party. Yeah. Uh-huh.
2020 got a shop on the weekend time. I think is with like Mr. Labor and so when them man just talk about old time things in a
The good old
news.
days. The good old days. Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Manners is made for the show there. Made for the show there. Mr. Manners could tell you everything about the good old days. And Mina, not the history. Mina say that the history doesn't need to be spoken about. Not even if it's the political
Right.
history. But what I'm saying is there is a time and a place for everything. Right now,
Well,
right?
no, I was gonna say I'm hopeful that the party and the members who do listen to the program may be able to take your advice and take it into consideration and make the necessary adjustments. Sometimes when people do talk about things, and a lot in our society, instead of taking constructive criticism, sometimes people get offended and take it the other way. But it might just be something that is worth a discussion within the party realms, and for them to see the need to maybe make the necessary adjustments where that is concerned, if they find that it would be beneficial for them down the line.
Banky,
um,
Banky, what you think? What you think about the
You
historical
see,
party?
I was listening this show, but then I didn't listen from the beginning. But then I know I hear the Parry voice started talking, so I thought it was one of them old recording. Cause it was kind of distorted too. You know what I mean? Cause you couldn't really hear it clearly, so I thought it was kind of distorted. So if you go on the old tape, cause it was talking about Sim Daniel and all and different stuff like that. But there was a gentleman in the room, you understand, who was being interviewed, a young man. So figuring this show should be revolved around him. You understand? Stuff will be encouraged. You understand? If you want to go along interviewing somebody, always going back. You see, I was telling people. I remember when I was in Fifth Farm. I still have the picture in my album where me, David, James. They picked me to play Bradshaw, and I remember when they gave me the script. The script I had to go on the stage because this was big independence. That's probably the last one kept like that. You're born in your rice and pepper in your soup. So me on this stage now, having this political thing, and as an adult, when I did all my research, there ain't one evidence you can show that this statement was ever said. But it just show you the mentality of our people. You have me as a young person, me not born in politics, where you got me saying this man said this thing and it was never said just because of your own belief system. And that show me how dangerous we can be as a people. You understand? It's when the show finished, I realized when Mr. Man is saying, well, no, I'm not sure if you guys tuned in yet, but thanks Mr. Piper for calling and they were kind of distorted and wave and stuff like that. I said that was a live.
Okay.
It
Okay.
was funny to me because
Okay.
I never hear anything about like the gentleman will encourage him. He been doing some lot of work in St. Thomas's and whatever and whatever. But watch man, we love to talk about you understand the history of everybody love to talk about what they done, you know. But you understand, remember, everybody gonna do a part. People don't forget what you have done. But if you're gonna have somebody in that environment to have an interview, the interview is supposed to revolve around that person. I didn't understand what the purpose of the call. I didn't know it was a call at all. It was just a recording, and we're trying to understand what the recording was there for. You see what I
Listen,
mean?
I do not know what is the purpose of the show. You talk about you don't know the purpose of the call. I don't know what is the purpose of the show. If you ain't highlighting what is going on right now, and bear in mind, I done been said this before. Mark Brantley at one point in time was the most powerful Premier Nevis ever had. He had 4 seats in the local parliament and he had 3 seats in the federal, and he'd been in both governments. That happened in my life. Mark Brantley gone from that kind of popularity there now to it ain't happening. But in order for this thing to be truly over, you must be competent. You still got to present some kind of plan where the people and them gonna say, okay, all right, we're going with this thing. You can't just be the same platitudes, the same vague speaking. Listen, let me tell you something. At one point in time, Rohan literally said, but I know people want to hear about the plans what we got, you know? Even like the blue economy. But here's the problem. The blue economy is like an octopus. And you know, octopus got 8 foot, his tentacles everywhere. So here make the thing more. He can't tell me what the blue economy be. So now he start to tell me about octopus. And but then you want to take over what is taking place. These are the
You see
issues what I
yeah,
have.
but this is what I keep talking about all the time. We Yason and myself, along with you and I, we come here and I have this conversation and talk about agriculture. But I haven't heard this not even the Minister of Agriculture, he the host a show that the premier to be on, and he not even here to talk about agriculture for the whole show unless he have guests from the department to go there to, but he himself would not even talk about the department and promote the department. You see what I mean? We have a 2025 agenda going on. Every minister of government, whether it's not because it's not your position or your post, you should be able to speak on agriculture because your survival. You have to do the environment you live in. Even if you're doing if you're in charge of public works, you must do the roads and all these different in a safe way at the same time to protect the environment at the same time. Everything we all have a part to play now. So and that is why I listen to this or this one of the politician or whoever have aspiring politician, if you not talk agriculture, me not take you on, you know. That's just how it is, you know. Because they ain't talking agriculture, brethren, and these are things I listen to. I don't listen, you know. Because I tell you what you say, I don't want to tell me what they hear you say. So I listen to everybody. And I know how to decipher stuff. And I know when somebody talking BS, whether me eyes shut and listen, I could smell it coming straight to the phone or straight to the radio waves. Because Jalan said how Johan go on the question is in that even they talk about the CBI, is just run around and remember the. I listen. He don't. If you're gonna go on the radio talk and one of you must have the information where when a question is asked, you understand, and add to it. You can't just throw water on it and run around it because there are people who are listening and looking to see how you answer these questions. So you're not gonna get away. So people who have that you would have those who just listen to just because they want to listen and everything you say to them sound good. But if you're
And watch it
talking
again.
BS, you're talking BS. That's
And
it.
watch it again. And furthermore again. You're gonna end up and say, You know, if you want to know about the blue economy, just listen to me, leader. Meanwhile, what people say about CCM, only the leader talk.
Yes.
Everybody not talk. You got a show where you supposed to talk. And what you going to say? Listen to me, leader. She know what the blue
Yeah,
economy.
but
You can't.
these are simple things you can talk about and talk about the blue
So,
economy. I mean, it's right in front of you right there. The ocean is that's all part of it, agriculture. You understand? That's the, you see, we make things complicated, and these are just simple. You must be able to talk about these things, Virgin. It's right in front of you. You understand? You can have there are a lot of places where you have renewable energy. It's out there, and it's what it is, you know. Lot of platform with all you understand with turbines and all this different stuff. So you should be able to have a conversation about these things. Nobody talking about agriculture. Nobody is you, me, Yason, and all the different guests we have is who speaking of agriculture. You see what I mean? We're not talking about
But
cannabis. We're
Banky,
not talking about nothing.
you talk about we're not hearing anything about agriculture, but in the case of Nevis, we don't really hear much about anything at all. Because I hear you mention when you started off by saying that the Minister of Agriculture will be on a radio program sometimes and he don't, you know what I mean, necessarily even talk much about agriculture. But here's one of the issues that I have. That radio program that you talk about is a personal radio and a personal a private radio station. There is no efforts being made from the NIA to use their medium or a non-biased platform, so to speak, to bring the message to the people and also to have a platform where the other elected and selected members of the NIA can come to the public and report to the public on what they have been doing, what plans they have. I mean, and St. Kitts in terms of the federal, you do get a platform sometimes here would have his other ministers available so questions in regards to the specific ministries. We don't since we have elections and Nevis, there has not been, I stand to be corrected, but there has not been
Hmm.
any opportunity presented where you have all of the ministers and you have, let's say, a press and people could question these people and present whatever queries and issues they have. And this has been allowed, and the only time you do hear something is either from the premier's press conference or when the premier goes on his personal
so
talk
yes,
show that
son.
is sponsored and paid for by his private company.
So yes, son, what is your strategy?
What do you mean? What is my strategy? What I am saying is, I am saying that there should be,
Yason,
um,
Yason.
yeah,
You have highlighted for
This
me the
is
problem.
obvious. It's obvious. This is by design, you know, Yason. It's obvious this is by design why the premier don't want his other cabinet members to talk because he know them a fail too. I mean, everybody a fail.
I
Because
don't want
two
to
weeks
presume,
ago,
Banky. I don't want to
well, this
presume.
is
What I am highlighting,
Yason. This is not
no, well,
presuming. Is what it is.
it's presumption because at the end of the day, we really don't know why what his decision is, why he moved that way. What I am saying is, I am making an
The evidence
observation
is in
based
front
on
of
what I
face,
see.
of course.
So what I am
Yes.
seeing is that we who have elected these people have no opportunity to question them. The only opportunity that is provided is the premier at his press conference. What I am
Okay.
saying on St. Kitts, we have an opportunity where the other ministers are questioned or
Did
Yeah.
at least
anybody ever
brought to the
ask the
table.
premier about what happened to his
But
ministers and them? Did anybody ever ask the
hold
premier
on.
about where his US ministers and them?
Wait. Order in the code. Order in the code. Yes, son.
Mm-hmm,
One thing what we're gonna establish. You don't say what you say. Them get to do it in a
mm-hmm,
St. and I've been get to do it in a Nevis. You have established your fundamental issue. You can't tell Abby what the issue be again.
mm-hmm,
If you talk again, you got to tell Abby the solution to the issue. You understand? Because you can't tell Abby again that sink it or do
We
it
don't
and Abby
establish
don't get to
that.
do it. Abby
We don't
don't
establish that.
establish that. So the
mm-hmm.
next time you got to, cause, and that's how come I ask you, what is your strategy? Me does imply strategy is when me want the premier do things, you know. The last time I talked to the premier was nearly 10 years ago, you know. But I don't get the premier to do things because I imply strategies. So, I like, for example, one of the strategies one me come up with recently, or possibly get other ministers start. Me I blame everything on the premier. Only he want to. What am I supposed to do? If he's the Ministry of Health, he
How
can't.
you mean? How you mean? How you mean? What you supposed to do? But you're part of hiring these people who supposed to be representing you. So this is what I am saying. We are not here. They're
Rasta,
not doing it, and
Rasta,
we're not hearing the
Rasta,
outcry for it to be
Rasta.
done.
And you keep on asking for the outcry. Me, I tell you, my strategy, you know. You ask for the outcry, you know. Me, I tell you my strategy. If you're going to tell me you want the outcry, that is not a strategy. You're implying to get none. I am telling you, I am going to blame the premier for everything. I'm going to give him the credit for everything. And right now, based on how the ledger there, he gonna lose the battle there. He got more bad than what good going on. So if he want to take everything, I'm gonna give him exactly what he want. The man is I've been even want to play a guessing game with you. I've been going to ask you, well, why do you think? But you don't. That's the thing. You don't want to say why you think. I will tell you. I think, based off past statements that the premier has made, that he's a raging egomaniac. He doesn't say he don't want to share the spotlight with the opposition. No, you might feel like that only applies to the opposition. Does he play? Does he play well with his teammates? How team unity went?
No, but
He and
see,
Alexis are bridging. You see him Gamp and Alexis show. He ain't gonna share the ball. So since he don't want to share the ball and take all the shot, what me gonna say? And this is what me try to explain to you. My strategy, it could fail or it could work. But since he want to take all the shot them, go
You
ahead,
see what
Mr.
Alan, you see what Alan's saying is that because that is the reason why I tell the premier he gonna have because he know what the minister of agriculture because he's his right hand man. So they're gonna have to fire each other because somebody have to fire somebody because the minister of agriculture now do not work. Is a reality.
but
Watch it. 2 weeks
Banky,
ago, yeah, son. Two
we see
weeks
what
ago, right? What 2 weeks ago, the amount of calls I get, I say, well, what these money are calling me for? The minister call an emergency meeting. The same time I sell melon, marketing a call more melon to buy. And this emergency meeting have nothing to do on a professional level where you have staff members who hug him up and pat him on the back and rub it back. You understand? And start kissing him on the cheek and so forth. Go and tell you something happening within a department, and you're not even that staff member not even supposed to come to the protocol, the chain of command. You're going straight to the minister, and he can take his personal feeling and call an emergency meeting and cussing his staff. The staff at the Department of Agriculture, I don't know how agriculture is going to work out now. When you're in a meeting, calling down the communication officers and stuff like that, telling them they have a bachelor's degree and all this different stuff, and they're not doing the work. And when the same trying to show you, look at these footage I just came from NNC and all these things. You're trying to shut him down. I want to see. Look at this. Say the same thing you're accusing the gentleman for. Gentleman always hard. I don't even like to use the word hard. Always working, putting all this energy, being creative, and wondering why farmers are not bringing food at the Department of Agriculture. Why none of the estate, 5 estate, have no food? But you are the minister. You don't go there. You don't know going on nowhere. Everything is falling apart. And I told him so. I told him so. He can't still tell him so. I tell him so. Everybody gonna left under him because they have no interest, brethren. We don't have no interest. These are your staff not gonna have and have the respect for you. And by doing what he did there, that's break the camel back. You see me? Because
but you
everybody
see,
don't have no respect for him. There is
Banky,
craziness.
Banky. I am hearing all that, you know. I am hearing all that. But here's what I am saying. Even though I might agree with Alan's strategy in principle, in saying, well, since the premier wants to be the one up front to be in the spotlight, that he's gonna blame him for everything as well. While that is all good to say, and as I said, might be a good strategy in principle. At the end of the day, still, these other, whether elected or selected members of the NIA who are not being put on the spotlight are also being paid by our taxes. And what I am talking about is for us as a people to demand more from
Okay,
those
okay,
who we
okay,
are
okay, okay.
selected
Hold
or
on, hold
elected.
on, hold on.
Yes, sir, we understand all that, you know. We
No,
understand all that, you know.
no, hold on, because your son ain't still not give me a solution for that. But here what happened. Since
That's
you want to bring up that problem, then let me tell you my strategy for that too.
Mhm.
Here's what going on CCM. Let me be real with her. Your son not got no solution. Me gonna get what going on right now. This ship is sinking, you know. And the captain, he good. The captain pension locking. You know when you is the premier, your pension locking. Once you
Mhm.
reach the office of the premier is wow. What the other people who ain't getting the platform got to ask themselves is CCM is Mark Bradley? Or Mark Bradley? Mark Bradley is just a man. If CCM is Mark Bradley, when he goes down, then that's it for CCM. That's it for the enterprise. So if all of them just want to stay and hold on, I cool. But we're gonna see how that play out in the end for them. That's for them to decide. Maybe the party is just one man. But yes
Well,
son, but yes son. Once again, you got any strategy where you're implant? You got anything?
so what I am suggesting, what I
Uh-huh.
am seeking is for us as a people, the electorate, because this is one of the reasons why, for me, I have stopped seek to um, finger
so,
point
your son.
any of these political um, members, so to speak, because I am aware, I am of the opinion and of the view that they know exactly what they're doing. There's a game to be played,
But that's the whole
and they are
point. But that's
playing
the
their
whole
part
point.
effective.
But that's the
But
whole
we the
point, yes,
masses,
sir.
but we the masses are not playing our role, and
They
that is
with a
what my problem
business, but
is.
they don't care.
But Banky, my
Yes, son.
problem is we are not playing our part. The side
Who
that
is
we should be,
we?
the part that we should be
Who is the
taking, we're not
we?
taking because, and that is why these
Who is the
guys,
we?
that is why the premier could do something like that then. Because what you know,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of all what Alan just say, at the end of he doing all of that, what the end result is, the man still winning. Amidst all
That's
of that, what we saying here, he's still winning.
How
so
long
that
have I
shows
been saying?
you.
Wait. No. Hold on, Cardi. What's the man talking choppiness now? So how long may I deal with this now?
I don't know how long you're dealing with it, but
Oh,
what I'm telling you,
you see, and this is what I'm trying to say. This is how come.
mhm.
This is how come I start off initially, and I told you. I have said before, Mark Brantley, and when me say was, at the time when I was saying it, I said Mark Brantley is the most powerful premier what we ever see. Even all the election coverage and them, I telling you, Mark Brantley gonna win, CCM gonna win. There comes a particular moments in time when you realize, boy, when the hospital you ever done, when the next thing you ever done, when this you ever done, Mark Brantley fail. He's an analog man. That's how come me ask you. So how long you feel like? How long you think that I wake up in the morning and me just tell myself from since Mark Brantley is in politics that he full of shit? You think that I come to the realization that Mark Brantley is full of shit?
Well, I
Ah,
am not. I am. Watch it. Watch it. You see, maybe. the
Rastaman,
vantage point that
Rastaman,
I am coming
Rastaman,
from.
hold on. It
Uh-huh.
matters because you say me say this and here win. So you feel like that are the reading what me had all the time? It
If that was
matters.
the rhythm you had all the time.
Yeah, because if
No, no,
you
no.
say that
Watch it,
I'm
Alan.
saying
Watch it. Wait. Hear me out. Hear me out. This position for me is not about me and you and where you stand and where I stand. You know what I am looking at. What I am looking at is the reality is that we, the taxpayers, we, the electorate, are the ones who are paying these people. Not care who they be, whether it's in labor, whether it's in PAM, PLP, when they're in there in the office sitting down holding that space. It is our taxes that are paying them. So if they are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they're not even reporting to us, and they don't even have an opportunity, we don't even have an
Yeah, son.
opportunity to question or
Watch this.
ask them anything.
Today
Then
Tuesday, right?
why
Today is
are we paying?
Tuesday.
Why are we paying them back this? Why are we paying them this money? And then why are we
Yeah,
making any
son.
noise then? Since we don't really need to question them, because we could only talk to the premier,
Yeah,
could come and
son.
say whatever at the press conference, and that's it, and that's okay. Then why make any
Yeah,
noise then? That no wonder the premier could say ignore the noise because he just noise you're making then. If you're not gonna
yeah,
problem with
son.
these other things, these real issues, then just make noise.
Yeah, son. What I'm saying, right? Look at
Mm-hmm.
this. Tonight, the same minister who was the
Mm-hmm.
manager and the architect of the same hospital and we are talking about that Alan mentioned, how long when they're gonna finish. He and I show every Tuesday night. Nobody asking about this hospital and all the different stuff and if he ever and all the different stuff and why this and what. Nobody asks the question. Not even nobody, whether his supporters are opposite, nobody asking him. He and I show every week.
But
So
Banky,
I'm just trying to show you the mind frame of
come
the
back to what we're
people
saying, you know.
every
It come back to
week.
what we're saying. The game, remember I tell you, you know, these guys are playing a game. They are
This,
playing, they are being very effective at the role which they are playing. Part of it is
so
the
what stopped the
divide
people
and
from
rule.
asking my question? What
They
stopped the people from
know,
asking my
so
question? What? Yes, son. What stopped the people from
you know what
asking?
stop them? Let me tell you what stop them.
What?
In the mindset
Mm-hmm.
of our people, right?
Uh-huh.
That platform is deemed,
Uh-huh.
say, CCM platform. And then you have 2020 Vision that is deemed NRP platform. And because
So
of the
nobody could
divide
call
and
in.
rule, we
Yes.
have those who listen to one platform and they will tell themselves, me not calling on the platform there, me not even listen to the platform there. And they have the other side that will say, me listen to the platform there, me ain't even gonna listen to
okay,
that.
okay.
So
Okay, Rastaman, I can solve the problem.
yes.
From now,
Mm-hmm.
here what I want to do. Every Tuesday, you're gonna send me questions and I can call in pan animal. We good? We good?
Every Tuesday I can send you a question. No,
Every
that's not
Tuesday,
animal, that's Wednesday. Tuesday is let's start. Tuesday is let's start.
listen and understand what Alana say. Every
They
Uh-huh.
got there in
Tuesday, by
advance.
by
Oh,
Tuesday,
okay,
you
okay, I
gonna
hear what you say.
just
I hear what you say.
all you got to do is say yes or no. No, me don't give everything. No. We good? We good?
Wait, listen, I can listen Tuesday and then give you the questions for
No,
Wednesday.
send him.
Me not say
Yeah, that's
nothing
all.
like like
No,
that.
no, no, no. Just send the
As
question them for
as
Tuesday.
and I would assume that your question gonna be from an opposition standpoint. That would that satisfy you? What would that satisfy you?
No,
But
it
yes,
wouldn't satisfy me personally.
Oh,
Let me tell you why it wouldn't
okay,
satisfy me.
and I do it again then.
No. You
All right.
see, because
but yes, I
I
can call it
think you.
himself and talk to the premier himself.
No. Hold on. And that is what I'm saying. Just by Alan's
What?
response, Alan is giving me a
Yes.
response that me ain't on because me ain't on no side, you know. Me ain't taking no side when I
No,
make
he's not. He's not taking
my
the side. Yes,
points.
son.
My
He's
point is not
yes,
from
son.
no
He's not taking.
political
Yes,
vantage
son.
point. I am just
No, but this
telling
is not
you
about
that
sides.
based on what we are supposed to be doing, this is what the people. I'm from the people standpoint, the
Yeah, yes,
masses
son.
standpoint.
Yes, son.
Let,
Yes,
let,
son.
let me move on. Let me move on. Let me move on. Pandit. We pan this too long. Let me move on. To forward.
No, let me
With
hear
that, we
what
are
Alan
going the
said
bush
before
for
we move
this.
on. The last point, Alan,
We
before we move on, and then we could go ahead. Let me hear what you were saying.
can this, we can't stop on this thing where ministers of government not talk and just one man attack. That makes no sense. When these people on the platform, nobody ask them no question. When they're on the platform for the media to ask them, nobody ask them no question, period. Whether it's opposition or supporters, that makes no sense. Make
Yes,
no
son.
sense, brethren.
The last thing what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go back to my original preposition. The reason why I ask you about strategy is because I'm asking you, what are you using? What are you implying to get to the goal or the result that you would like to see? What you consistently hold on, let me say what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
What you
Mm-hmm.
consistently do is you go all the way to the result and you tell me, well, this is the result. So you would say things like, well, them a win. Well, nobody a challenge them. When me I tell you about this strategy, me I ask you, well, what you do to influence so that when we reach pan the only way we're gonna the only way we're gonna affect the result is along the way of the trajectory, you know. And the earlier we start, then the more likely we are to change the result and the end. So that a which part may come from with regards to that. The next thing I would tell you is, have you been following the situation in Bangladesh?
Bangladesh?
Yes.
No, no.
Okay. Um, Bangladesh recently overthrew the government for a lot
Mm-hmm.
of the things, were you disappointed about. This is another thing what me I try to tell you. Listen, as a Rasta, I know you Afrocentric. Me study revolution. It could be
Mm-hmm.
Japanese. I study revolution
Mm-hmm.
because in the same way how Martin Luther King take tools were European built to beat them, you could take up
Mm-hmm.
all kind of tools from other people. Them not do nothing different than what a revolution would look like in a navies. You want a revolution in a navies and you not study revolution. That's the last thing I'm gonna say about that. You have any rebuttal? You might have. That's all. Rebuttal?
What I would say is in reading The Art of War, there's different strategies that one can take and could take. And sometimes revolutionary, the revolutionary approach can be effective in some cases. A little bit of psychology and diplomacy can work as well. Part of what the issue is, as you even brought the issue of Bangladesh to the fore, one of the reasons why I speak the way I speak is because seemingly that revolutionary spirit is not present in Nevis. What
You
has been
incorrect.
said and has been
You
mentioned
incorrect.
is that we are docile people. And so
You're
when
wrong.
my contribution, which I can make right now, is to be on a platform like this and be able to bring these kind of ideas and thoughts to the minds of the people so that they can eventually move further with
Yeah,
it.
so
Because at the end of the
Raj,
day,
right?
if nobody is bringing this kind of concept and this kind of meditation to the people, then this is going to continue. So that is where I am with that. So my contribution at this point is by bringing the idea and the thoughts on these platforms so that we can open up the consciousness of the masses to realize, hey, we can't continue to be docile. We need to stand up. We need to really demand this. We really need to challenge these people who we say who we are paying. Some of us don't even know, don't even recognize that we are the bosses. You know what I mean? And these people are not our bosses. We still look to them as the bosses. So the reversing of the psychology, a part of that has to be a part of the strategy as well, which is what we seek to do on platforms like these. Yes, Alan.
May I move on to the next thing? May I spend some money for the
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I ready to fuck up the budget for next year. Um, we just went through a hurricane. Sorry for the people in Tampa. My God, listen. If you gonna live in Florida, Orlando is the place to live in Florida. Oh my God. And since we went through the hurricane, it got me to thinking about Nevis. because I've been hearing them speaking about this thing called hardening the grid. When they say hardening the grid, they're referring to things like, well, the easiest one is to clean up the trees and the limbs and so around the posts and all them kind of thing there. But they also talk about um changing the posts from the wood posts to either concrete, metal, and then they also got some things like with some sensors and so. I've been not getting needless. No. I've been not get them there. Let's get tomorrow. Wow. The other things we then talk about. I've heard the premier talk about he buy generator. Um, anyhow, you know when last time change the transmission line them? Are you ever hear them change the transmission line them in any this?
Change the lines.
The transmission lines. Because one of the
Mm.
issues what I had found was they say in America, over half of the transmission line them over 25 years old.
I know they were doing some upgrade with 110 in other areas and making some areas just straight 110. They had
Oh
new
yeah.
wires coming to Hamilton and different areas and stuff like that. Come down Government Road and come down to Brazier. A couple of years ago, I'm not sure if in all areas if that been done, or some areas still have, you know what I mean, 220. But in my area where I'm at is strictly direct 110. But some areas you just have to, I think we still have 220. So I'm not sure the lines. But I mean, yeah, they have engineers and all kind of stuff. They're supposed to know what their work schedule is like and what line need changing out and how long the lines would last for and all this different stuff. They're supposed to know these things. They're supposed to be professionals. You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
I don't know.
well,
All that have to do with
well, I
safety. All
really
these are safety reasons.
yeah. And the reason why me talk about it too. Listen, one day the hurricane was like 80 miles per hour. And me say, man,
Yes.
don't worry about that. That didn't have nothing. Within no time, the blink of an eye,
Yeah.
180 miles an hour.
Yeah. It's
Barreling
like a week
towards
later, my cousin telling me
what?
he just gave up power over a week and a half. My cousin telling me he just gave up power in Tampa. And his generator, you have to drive for miles to get gas because everybody buy up all the gas. So it's like panic. You know what I'm saying? It was a, I didn't know it was that bad when they were talking to me how long he out and luckily he had a generator. You see what I mean? Because and plus when you have young children, it was just a lot. Some people just had they stayed in hotels and all kind of stuff when the storm passed and leave their homes. So it was just back to back hurricane that they've been getting up there, and we're still in the season because usually hurricane goes straight down even December.
Well, the issue has been that the place still hot. He had a
Mm-hmm.
little he had a little cold front pass there, but really and truly, basically, he back to in the mid 80s again this week. So
Yes.
all of that is contributing. So I would encourage the premier. You know, if you have upgraded these facilities, you know, you could teeth meeting and tell them you have hardened the grid. You know, you have updated the infrastructure because what also get me concerned is that the article I was reading was saying that America infrastructure is outdated. So if them
Mm-hmm.
outdated, they were talking about the transmission line, the circuit breakers, and the posts. No, he had something else. And some of them they were saying like 70% are the no 60% of the circuit breakers more than 25 years old again. So you got old circuit breakers, you got old lines.
Yeah, but
It,
the key is how after is line supposed to last. You know, you do have a maintenance of whether 5 to 10 years, and you know what I mean, depending how the thickness of the asphalt. But what are the lifeline of these lines? You see,
well,
nobody not speak to you. They never know about these things, and you didn't ask
remember,
nobody asked the minister of question these kind of things. So I understand where you're coming from.
yeah, because what happened is the point of the article was to say, technology done pass these things here, and then also
Of course.
the 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 devices and so now, because they were making a point of saying like even in the 90s compared to now, we got a lot more computers and things pull up, so the energy demands what you're seeking, even if you're looking at the same population, it's still gonna be more. So you got to upgrade everything a lot to keep up with the demands where you're pushing. Otherwise, at the end of the day, you could have situations where you're casting yourself economically.
Yes, and also remember the comments, and then we'll go at it. So me can't see.
Yeah, but
Well, see, Winston Paris, I say, Banky, the host of the shows always have the last say. People do ask questions of the minister, but the show is in such a way that your questions don't even get answered because the host of the show chooses what question to show out to the panelists. That sound like a
you
Winston
see, and
Farmer.
it
Yeah,
comes back to it
but
come
if you
back
call
to
in, if you call into a show and you ask a direct question to one of the person on the panel, they'll be telling me that person cannot answer that question, a direct question to him. That what my
you
boy Papa
see
should make no sense.
you see no you can't say that. 'Cause what he says is because of how
Uh-huh.
this show may be formatted. Now this
What do
comes
you
back
mean?
to
Farmer chat. If me call into a show,
the
your
point that
son,
I am
can
making.
ask you a direct question. Yes, son.
Here's the scenario. Here's the scenario, and this is why this and St. Kitts, when the Prime Minister is going to make his presentations, apart from the private radio stations, there's the SKNIS and there's ZIZ, which is both state-owned media outlets. And Nevis, the outlet used is a private media outlet. We have an NNC, but that's what I'm saying. Even in I hear Alan saying that he whatever he just comment he just made in regards to the electricity and so on. But this is the only platform he has to throw it out. There's no other platform, so to speak, where you have that opportunity to question the minister, to talk to the minister or other ministers who are related to these ministries and so on. All we get is an opportunity, whether at the press conference or on a private radio talk show. No effort is being made to come and present facts to the people in a way that is biased, non-partial, and it is continued to be allowed. That is my observation. It is continued to be allowed, and no feedback and no pressure. So a lot of these questions, that's why it just end up being noise, because no platform really there to question them, and then it's private, little sese. Even on St. Kitts, the Prime Minister would make efforts to go on other radio stations. Other ministers would go on other radio stations from time to time and face public from whether it's just callers directly or press personnel and so on. That opportunity is not so much afforded on the Nevis end. It's just an observation.
You're telling me you have a Wednesday night show and nobody can ask, even if nobody can ask, when is this? What you say in a sense, brethren? You see,
What
no
I
make no
am saying,
sense. Nobody asked me
here's what I'm saying,
question.
Banky.
No. Okay,
Here's
Me
what
Banky,
I
pan this
am
Banky.
again, me
Banky.
a son, me gonna back again pan
That
this.
show is a private. That show is a private.
We keep going
That's a
back
Okay,
on this
privately
thing,
okay,
brethren.
sponsored
okay,
show.
okay,
The
okay,
forum is
Banky.
not an open forum.
Yes, I.
Banky, he is the vibe, right? Because really and truly, what Yason is saying have great implications against him as well. So, for example, Yason, is this an open forum?
If this is an open forum,
Speak to me.
If you
here's
ask
what
us any question, if you
here's
ask
what I am
us a
saying.
direct question,
Yason,
Uh-huh.
Real Entertainment
Uh-huh.
Network is Ira and Reese thing. Is a private story. Is it an open forum? I ask you again. Is only yes or no you got to say? Is not a hard question. Is it an open forum?
No, it's a private forum.
Okay.
But people can ask us any question, yeah, son. What are you
Well,
talking about?
apparently,
Because we deal with the general public, so it's an open forum.
apparently, I going to tell Abby why we go and say Abby can.
Exactly. We're talking about, yeah, son. You're killing me tonight. You make an excuse for these people, Bridget. Stop making excuse for these people.
You putting in so much qualifiers against yourself, yeah, son. You're arguing
Exactly.
against yourself, my boy.
Anybody can ask me their question. Pointing to me, not to you. This question is for Banky alone. I saw me not choose not to answer.
Directly,
And the same thing.
so Banky,
Yes,
anybody could ask any question, and those forums as well.
Yes,
Hear the
sir.
point that I
So
am
you tell
making.
me
Hear
Tuesday
the
or
point that I
Wednesday,
am
me can
making,
call in and ask this kind of question. Me could ask anybody any question,
hold
Virgin.
on. See the difference that I'm pointing out. I'm not saying that anybody can call in on the platforms and ask a question.
But
Hear
why
the
did not
point that I
calling
am
in
making.
then?
We hold on. Hear the point that I am making. When the Prime Minister and the
We
ministers
understand that,
and
yes, son. You
syndicates
keep
is going to
regurgitating
make
this
a
thing over and over.
presentation to the
No,
public.
Banky. Wait there, Banky. Just let him say so for the 5th time. Yes, son. We need you to make this, cause this is the 5th
I
time.
said,
I've been here the first 4 times when
by
you
the way,
say
I take
so.
up time. I said the same thing over and
Why
over.
be why why be why you do? I be why you say so
No,
again.
man, you repeat this.
Say so slow
So
so that our
slowly,
people hear. Yeah, so that
it
our people hear.
is
I've been
on
here the
it is
first
on
4 times.
I don't
Go ahead.
care. I don't care. It is on ZIZ and SKNIS, which is a public facility
What the difference with
facilitated by
public, yes,
the
son?
federal government. The
What I
difference
mean?
is that it is you who are being paid are using an open forum that is being paid by you to come to us to talk to us. When you're on a private platform, it's a whole different ball game because you control the perimeters of the program. For example, if they choose not to, as you say, choose not to answer, choose not to do whatever, they have the right to. When you um um come to the
And
public,
NNC, you have to answer.
but they're not using NNC. That's the point I'm making. If they were using NNC, that might have been another story. But it is not being used. They're using their public forum to come to us with information that they should be coming via NNC and or whatever other national media farms that we have, versus just coming to us on their private, only paid for
No, Evan.
program.
No, Evan. Who just poppy in? Tell her there, bro. Tell her there. I wonder who that.
Like,
I wonder who that poppy in by mistake.
I kill me tonight, Virgin. Yes, on it. Stop making excuses for these people, Virgin.
Yason. You
Mhm.
get it off your chest. I want to say again. You go for 6 on. You go for 6.
Next topic.
Um,
Next topic.
Yeah, next topic, agriculture, cannabis. And now St. Vincent having the big cannabis bliss fest coming up November 1st to 3rd. I mean, I'm not sure. I think it had their one last year for. I'm not sure happening with Nevis when it comes to the cannabis part of it and stuff like that. So, same thing with food security. What do you think about the cannabis going on in St. Vincent, yeah, son? Do the Nevis need, I think the Federation need one of those? But there's
Well,
a board, right? There's a board. There's a cannabis board that had farm a couple of months ago. What happened to the board?
listen, wait there.
yeah.
Let me get to the board after we get to the cannabis. So go ahead with the cannabis.
All right.
Okay, so
Yes,
in
son.
relation to the cannabis, I think St. Kitts would have had an event, but it was last year, a cannabis activity last year. Um,
Yes.
it was last year or the year before. Time to fly so
The
fast.
year
But
before,
anyway,
the year before,
um,
the year before,
so I
December
don't
before.
know if there's any plans to do something similar. However, in St. Vincent, I think they would have gone ahead and would have made some strident moves in regards to the cannabis, and in investing in exporting and some other areas and so on. So I think they would have gone ahead of St. Kitts and Nevis, even though we would have, based on what was reported, gone ahead in terms of the legislation and making some changes that were not even made in Jamaica, so to speak, where Rastafari is concerned and so on. We still seem to be lagging behind. At one point, I remember they were talking about the policies and regulations and so on, and those were some of the things that were keeping back the progress. In recent times, as you mentioned, there would have been the restructuring of the board, or the setup of a new board, or restructuring of a board. Some members were highlighted. There was a little discrepancy saying, well, only one person from Nevis on the board, and all that. But we are not really hearing much in regards to cannabis. I think when the Prime Minister had his presentation recently, when he spoke about his trips out abroad, when he spoke to agriculture, I think he made some comment about developing a relationship with the Southern University, and the fact that they are one of the biggest in terms of cannabis research and development and so on, and plans that they're making to team up with that university in that regard. So that was the last that I think I would have heard in regards to anything in relation to cannabis. On the Nevis end, well, we don't hear anything at all. And so that is another story in itself. And so when we talk to agriculture and a whole banky, I find that there is a serious disconnect between the Ministry and the Department of Agriculture and St. Kitts, and the Ministry and Department of Agriculture and Nevis. Sometimes, I remember we had one of the member from Nevis and the PS from St. Kitts on the program at that point, and when we spoke to them, they both gave the impression that they collaborate and work together. However, when we see things play out on the ground in terms of listening to the farmers and the treatment meted out to the farmers, we are not seeing that togetherness from a ministerial standpoint. Like I said earlier on in the program, I heard you mention the fact that you personally are assisting other farmers in terms of helping to get them to benefit from some of the things that should have been offered in regards to the 25 by 25 agenda.
Yes.
What you are doing, some of what you are doing should be things that should be done by the ministry and those who are in those positions, but you happen to be in that position and still assisting others. So, things like this makes me wonder when we do hear, and this is why I'm talking about, again, us not holding these people accountable. And that is what my real issue is, that we are not holding these people accountable, and the fact that there's no measures put in place for us to hold them accountable either, because they're not being presented to us to be able to hold them accountable. So that's what I'm talking about. So we're not getting it on the agriculture side, we're not getting it on the cannabis side, and we're not getting it overall in Nevis, because after a couple of years of a government in operation, no opportunity to consult with the other ministers. Only one minister we hear from out of that Nevis Island administration. So these
Lord,
are
man.
things that
Lord,
that
man.
Yes, when you're going
Lord,
back
man.
again, pan that again,
You
that
can't,
that
you
I
you're
have
can't,
back,
you
to.
can't.
you got,
You all left that there, man. You all left that there, man. Lord, man, yes.
you're piggyback. But yeah, son,
Oh, my God.
in this, when it comes to agriculture, I just took over my uncle Mansa farm over in Caseby, 5 acres, and in 1 month, I don't set up the whole 5 acres by myself, fencing, whole farm drip out, set up I got about 5 different crops of melon. You understand? Annotation coming around for coming in the next 30 days and into January, coming down to February. Sorrel, sweet potato, okra, tomato, gene. Tanya, still other ground food, you understand? Cassava, pumpkin, winter squash, and 4 different varieties of melon. When I start over 200 coconut trees, all this, me, Mansa, and the universe. And me find space to plant. Simple thing, your son. And you're telling me the Department of Agriculture have hundreds of workers, 5 estates, and they can sell 1 pound of potato. I harvest 1 sweet corn and 1 watermelon. So with all these PhDs and all these and all these technicians, that make any sense? This is a rainy season of Virgin. You can't plant when rain fall. If you plant when the place dry, so if you understand, so when the place dry, you just have to set and plant. This week, Thursday coming up at Mansour's last stop, Shabazaga next we merge together. I'll be hosting a workshop on composting with the 3 farmers and 6 farmers. Then Saturday I have the same workshop which signed up with people already signed up to take with the same composting, and everything is hands-on because I designed the farm as a learning institution. You understand? November, every end of the month, last Saturday, I'll be doing a workshop. I'll be doing next month is water management and irrigation setup and fertigation. So those who come to the workshop on Saturday will see how to take the compost, send it through the fertigator system, strain it off, and the importance of all these and how we nourish the soil and the plant and control at the same time and build the soil and the organic content and all these things. I have no issue when if the department want to partner with Shaba's Organics, but we got to be on a professional level. I already have ICA reach out to me, that international agency. Appreciate Dr. Jones so reaching out, want to partner with a workshop coming up in November and facilitate at the farm also. So, Manchester last time Shabbat Organics is about to be doing good things, and the high school student and 6 farmers, we're charging them for the workshop. All they will be paying $2 to come on the farm, get the knowledge and hands-on knowledge about the composting. But anyone, the general public can come to the farm, $5 to enter to get a tour and get fresh juice and all this different stuff. And primary school children $1 and high school is just $2. And the tour we send them, come off the boat is $5. The money is in US. So it's something you can, once you come to that farm, you definitely will be intrigued. I mean, how the farm, if you're handicapped, you can drive on the farm, somebody can drive you in, and you can stay in the vehicle and still enjoy the farm and sit in the area and enjoy the nice breeze in different areas and come have lunch at the same time. And Fridays and Saturdays, you still can get your soul food, fish and we call it the calm meal and your baked chicken and different stuff. The ladies there do are beautiful chef and they get real home food cooked. You understand, at a very, very reasonable price. So check out Mansour's last stop. It's a wholesale. We have melon coming in the next couple of weeks. Everyone will be harvesting melon, and it's all wholesale price to general public. So we really appreciate those who've been supporting fancy. We had started pushing out watermelon and stuff like that, and those who keep coming and asking for different stuff and buying up the stock. I can get a bag of carambola for $10, shopping bag at $5 or $2, $1 worth, 50 cent worth. I rather sell this stuff them cheap than to see things waste. Don't make any sense. And this is what it's all about. Make sure everybody can get safe, cheap food. I'll give shout out for all those who send me love, you understand, and stuff like that. So I got to big up the hospital and the doctors, the whole paramedic staff, and all those who reach out, you know what I mean, who showing love and stuff like that. As I say, it's difficult. I get too much calls at the time, so it's rather if you want to talk to me, if you send me a message, once you get a chance, the message is important, they'll get back to you. But calling. My job is to be on the farm and work. I'm working for myself. I can't answer phone and I work. You understand? So a message is easier if it's important. Send a message and then I'll get back to you. Because once me on the farm, I gotta put in the time just like you okay. If you get up every day to work for a man and put in 12, 15 hours, well, what do you think I'm gonna do for myself? I'm more motivated for myself. You understand? So right now,
Yeah,
I'm
man, well,
fighting for
Banky,
space to plan.
I see the videos and so on, and really looking good. I must say, so far the works that you're putting in the short space of time
Yes, sir.
is really impressive. And whoever is working behind the scenes helping you with the videos and the clips and all
Well, that's
that,
my
they're doing
daughter
a really
Jamila. Big up my daughter Jamila
wonderful
in New
job.
York. That's
Yeah,
Jamila.
man,
And
wonderful
yes,
job in terms of the promotion
yes,
and marketing
yes, I.
aspect of it. So far so good. I'm looking
Yes, I.
forward to teaming up
And
with you.
also
So
follow
Tafara is
Shaba's Aronix page. Follow Shaba's Aronix YouTube page and Instagram and Facebook and all that, and just like and to see, cause she keeps sending out
mm,
content every week. So and I do videos every day. I go there do different videos. And some crimson sweet watermelon. I do videos of it and all this different stuff. So I have different techniques of farming systems and once you visit the farm, one of the questions I keep getting even from people all overseas, how much people have there working with me and just me alone, me and Mansa and the universe, and that's simple thing. Plus, I don't use no glyphosate, no Roundup, no weedless. All I use to maintain the grass is mold, make sure the aeration is there, and the right amount of water, so no water has been overused. So you wouldn't find water in the farm dripping, wasting, and the fowls, they're flooded. You just have the little lateral 8 inches, 12 inches around that root zone space, and between the furrows just dry, so I can just run the weed through that area. And so the melon, them already have a melon. The tomatoes, them have on flowers. So by next week, end of the week, I'll start to see small tomatoes, which in 30 days. So you don't know, melon tomatoes will be there by the first week in December, and melon will be between end of November. So you give thanks, you understand? So everything aligning.
Gentlemen,
yeah,
I
man.
want
And
to understand something, right?
mhm.
I got patience and laser focus. Me not get to say nothing about cannabis up to yet. Me just to tell I.
Yeah,
Go
So
but
ahead.
as long as I want to talk, at the end of the day, I haven't got to defend Rasta. Because the point what I got to make, I haven't got to defend Rasta. So I have to talk about whoever, all kind of thing I want to talk about. Me not get to
okay,
No,
say
so
well, you
nothing
can't
about
about
just just
cannabis.
just
cannabis.
before just before he get in with the cannabis,
Oh, you see, he going back to here, the guy.
no. So what I said just before you get to the cannabis, I was going to point out in terms of Banky, Tafari's plant nursery is going to be teaming up with Banky very in a not too short distance. So those who would
Nice,
want
nice, good
your
work.
plants, fruit trees and whether it's breadfruit, bread nut and
Yes,
so
I.
on, we're going to be teaming up with
Yes,
Shaba's Organics and Mansa's Farm in the not too distant future.
beautiful.
Couple of the comments before we get to Alan. You had Evan Jeffers saying Sir Arthur France, MBE. I guess they were saying that Arthur France was given some sort of credence by the British government. Yes, Banky, dancers and drummers. Terry and Perkins say we cannot depend on politicians. Foundations need to be independently built to highlight our hero and bright minds. Gigi Williams Keith, if Yasan Tafari go on Mana's show to talk history, Mana's going to talk more than Yasan. Evan Jeffers, Joseph Nathaniel France, and Arthur France's father were two brothers, I think. Then we go down. Yes, Gigi, I agree. Banky. Man as always doing it, take away the spotlight from the guests. Cabo was on the show at night and he never got to talk about what he came for. It's a bad habit for Mr. Manners. Gigi again saying, keep doing what you're doing, guys. Keep doing what you guys are doing for agriculture. Food is life. Homegrown chemicals, free food is the best. Nevis has a land to sustain the population with food. Evan Jeffers say, yes, Santa Tafari, check your Facebook messages tomorrow. Corbin Wilkin, listen to the exit speech by Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams. You will understand exactly who and what we are dealing with. Got to halfway in the speech. Tarian Perkins, Talent, Gigi, Alan Powell, you nearly eat your shoes election night. Winston Perkins, Paris. Well, I think Alan read that already. Gigi say, I'm enjoying the discussion. Evan say, you see who just pop in? Gigi say, Evan Jeffers, I said, Jetty Taylor. Um, look like he lost his tongue. He's learning something. Guess, yes, I, Banky, your farm will be really successful. Evan
Appreciate
Jeffers
him.
say, yeah, drink water and mind your beeswax. Uh, Gigi say, yes,
So
and
that's
the
a new
flower is
one.
still waiting on my breadfruit tree. So, okay, no problem. By the time you get back, Gigi, your breadfruit tree should be ready. And if you might not, and the way things are going, you might not even have to drive all the way up to Fountain. If you don't want to, you might just stop at Mansell's and pick it up. So that probably might be
Right there.
arranged by the time you come back. You know what I mean? So
Yes, I.
Alan, we ready for that cannabis comment and whatever else you want to interject at this point now.
Yeah, this gonna be the last one. So I mean, I think I've made my point why that I feel like the cannabis thing is stupidness. Um, Not in general. I'm not saying I'm a hater. I'm just saying that he got three different structure what deal with cannabis right now. They want to say that
Mhm.
Jesus deal with cannabis in a part, and that part they deal with Jeffrey. They say agriculture deal with cannabis in a part, that part they deal with Samuel, and them say the another part of agriculture is Dr. Joe. That health,
The medicinal
national,
side, the medicinal side.
yeah, and national security a little bit too. So he got three different boss. So me feel like a choppiness, but I feel like a something. And
Who are you?
no, you guys. Okay. For example, this now are the part where you want to defend Rasta. There is a
Mhm.
Rastafarian on the cannabis board, the medicinal cannabis board, right?
I think it's two of them.
One or more, one or more.
Listen,
I have female
even
too.
I think it's two.
even better, there
Mhm.
are Rastafarians on the board. What's going on?
Mhm.
What's been going on? Y'all give me an update.
But is the
How y'all feeling about the progress of what's been taking place
Well,
now that Rasta is
so
involved?
so
is there office? Is there office? Some is there
You
office you can call telephone number you can call?
all kind of thing you gonna ask me. Me ask you one question and you gonna
Me
answer me with
ask
a
too, but
question.
me ask too. Me ask question. Me
Okay.
want to know the same things them too. You know? Everybody want to know.
Good.
Everybody want to know the same
Alan,
question. The
Alan,
same question.
the
Yes.
question that you pose, Alan, is a question that a lot of us has, because at the end of the day, we were told that a new board was set up, and all that was done was the naming of the members who are on the board, or a picture that shows who the members are, and I think the names were listed. In after that,
Hmm.
we all of us have not heard anything. So one of the things that we had planned to do was to invite Ras Irai and Ras Aya, seeing that there are two Rastafari brethren, one, and both of them are were familiar to our programming, and they were former guests on our program before. So we were thinking of bringing them in. As a matter of fact, I had we would have had also the new chairperson for the, who at one point was supposed to be coming on the program, but because of the changes that we made, it's just to reschedule to have that person so we could get some clarity in regards to where they are and where we're going. So in terms of
Okay. Hold
Rastafari
on.
position, we would have to talk to IRI and Aya to get a position in terms of where Rastafari is and what is going on with their position on the
Listen.
board.
Listen. Since you choose to answer the because I've been a late slide, but since you choose to answer the last part, the like or so, I want to clarify what I just asked you. Because I want to ask
Mm-hmm.
you again.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the progress that has been made since you got Rasta on the board? Me not ask you if you talk to them. Okay, let me ask you, do you think any progress has been made from what you see?
No, I have not
Okay.
seen. I have not seen. Okay, in regards to the new board, remember we can't talk about the new board because nothing really happened since the new board has been put together. In regards to the old board, I think Rasairai was on it, and I think Rasaya was on it as well. We would have spoken to them in regards to some of the things that they would have put on the table and some of the issues that they were having back then.
Hold
Um,
on. What is the old board for persons who don't know? Because I don't know what the old board was. So what was the old cannabis board?
I think that was headed by Garfield what's his name? Garfield.
He, no, he was just a CEO. He was just appointed the CEO. Then now there's a board. He was just he
Okay,
was just a
sorry,
CEO.
there's without. Okay, so right, right. So since
He's
the
still the
board,
CEO.
we haven't. Okay, okay. So we haven't had anything from the board. So
Because yes, on you go remember, it go be public. Eh? So if in public, it ain't happen. If so that thing there before be that private. So but guy,
Well, I don't know how private he would have been because he would have been on our program and he came as the CEO of the cannabis.
Yes.
So I don't think a private issue per se, because I think we had him more than once. I think Banky. I think it's twice we had him on the program.
Of
In that
course. Yes.
capacity. Yeah.
Yes.
So it wasn't so much private. I think what happened is that just like a lot of things that's been happening in
wait there,
terms
wait
of
there, wait there,
holding
hold on.
people accountable.
Wait there. I had him on Banky show.
Yeah,
Yes.
The show of Banky
twice.
the Pepper,
Yes.
but that's a private
Twice. Go
show.
twice.
Banky the Pepper that. Is
Yeah,
this
Give
but
me
your
young
well,
the
no, no,
business?
question
no,
then.
no, 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 no.
Banky,
I
you see
see,
what I'm doing? Banky, you see what I'm doing? Banky, you see what I'm
I
doing?
see what you're doing.
Banky,
I see
Hey,
what you're
I
Banky, you
doing.
see
kill
what
me
And
I'm
what
today,
I'm
doing?
you
saying.
know.
So what I'm saying.
Oh,
Well, okay, okay,
wait,
okay.
hold on. So for Banky, so for Banky is public. For
No,
Banky,
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I
I
use
just
Yeah,
feel
I
yeah.
to check.
use
I just feel to
Banky.
check.
I use Banky because what I was pointing out is that he was also on ZIZ and all the other media in kits as well, SKNIS and so on, presented
No,
things from them as
no,
well too.
but when I ask you about the
No, I
Banky
used
part, you
I used
tell
it
me
because
it's
I was on
public.
the program, so I could speak to my personal.
Yeah,
I could have speak to
yeah. Well,
me
listen, me not
personally.
worry. I ain't worrying about that. All I ask you if when he been from Banky, if that's public, you tell me yes. You
But
understand?
Here's
That's
also
what
the
here's
public,
you
no,
tell me. Me not
here's what
ask
I
you
am
also
all
saying.
public
those things you might
shows.
be a talk about.
Here's
You
here's
talk
here's what I
about
am saying.
bankroll.
Here's what I am saying. I use
And
Banky as an example, and the show as an example, because we were on the show, and so I know that this was brought to the public via that forum. I
But everything a
also know
public, it doesn't matter if
that
the owner
hold
is a private
on.
person or not.
I
Everything a
also
public,
know
brethren.
that they were on ZIZ and
Yes, and
SKNIS and other
you kill me
media
today,
platforms
brethren.
as well.
We're doing a public broadcast, brethren. It doesn't matter the owner of the station. It's a government institution. It's public. You deal with public media. What you say, yes, son?
because
Yeah, you're killing me tonight, you know.
listen,
This
based
is
off of
funny.
what your son has, based off of what your son has said, me look at Z camera in the studio. That gonna make it public. And that's how you there.
Yes, so that boy.
No,
Sorry.
so
I just let
but
me.
on a serious
Yeah.
note now though, like what we after the board was named, we have not heard anything in regards to the cannabis, and this is the thing. Well, no, sorry, the prime minister did say the
But
other day
remember, this
that
is under agriculture.
they make
Remember, this fall under agriculture, you know. So, and the Navy's end, you might hear the minister in Sinking, Mr. Douglas speak and cannabis speak and the 2025 agenda. But you never hear the minister of Navy speak on cannabis ever.
No,
I stand to be
you.
corrected. Eh?
I have. Remember, he big you up, and he big you up.
He big me up
Yeah,
when
remember when he
oh
went in when he went
he
in
come in and run out.
when
He come in
yeah
and
when
run out. I mean, he
agriculture
come in for 10 seconds. He come in for the food free. He come in
he,
and run out. And say,
he
boy,
come in
in a strong boy.
he come
My mother
he
kill
come in.
me.
Well,
You was
he
in there.
don't
You was at the front
he,
seat.
he don't even take a photo app. He not smart. But anyway,
Nothing. You so 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 these are the things I'm talking about. And then the premier gonna come in, spend all the time inside there with you understand and going sniffing and the Minister of Agriculture will be having this conversation. This still don't make no sense, brethren. So if you play Dolly House, how you put it where you see in the car, you're looking by judging by your works and your behavior and all these things. Your personal issues, whether you don't like cannabis, I don't like a lot of things, but I don't take my personal feedback on a lot of things against an individual. So you can't take personal feeling how you feel about the cannabis or whatever it is, but you're in a position you don't want to talk about it and all this nonsense. We're not. I guarantee you can put somebody from kindergarten or grade one, primary school, and they can run the Department of Agriculture as a minister because the person they would listen to the technocrats. They will, but this minister just doing what he want. Everything is just
No,
personal.
I don't endorse that. No,
What?
no kindergarten me want to
Which
run the
part?
ministry.
Yeah, but
And
they would listen to the technocrats because you understand, they don't understand the work, so don't take the advice from those who, because everybody in the Ministry of Agriculture is well trained. So if you have people who are trained and then at what? What do
not
you
how
want
the
to say?
leaders and them, not how the leaders them that talk about the country. Them man talk like I say all the young people and them not kind of manners and them kind of thing there. You know hear how much a
No,
group
that
and thing. Everybody say we're gonna bring back the brownies, we're gonna bring back this, the pathfinders, everything all come back. Them man talk like
that ain't true.
none of the young
No,
people
no.
and
Them is just person. Them is just personal. This and personal that. You understand? There are a lot of trained people here, a lot of young people who go, but a lot of problem is you're not given a chance to do your work. You understand? A lot of time you micromanage, and then if you're not get a chance to develop what you have been taught, when you can improve, you have experience. You understand? How would you get experience if you have young scientists? You must be able to experiment all the time because every day the environment is different. Like today was a very windy day. So anything gonna happen on a windy day, I gotta make sure monitor my watering all the time because the evaporation we're gonna increase very high, very high. Even the sun, the place is overcast, you can get much sunlight. But that wind, high wind, the evaporation gonna increase. You understand? So all these things, you mean you got to make sure if you're gonna water, you got to water extra because of the fastness of the evaporation. So not today is the same. Tomorrow it might be rainy, and we wouldn't have to water. You understand? So as scientists, you got to always be hands on. Otherwise, farmers is not going to take you serious. You will have. I don't realize people can pass tests, but then they can't apply because they're not gonna. Somehow we have this thing. If you're going to study agriculture and want to be a scientist, you got to get your hand dirty. You got to be hands on, and you got to help the farmers because the farmers want help. I mean, I used to enjoy working, and I still with farmers up in Rollins, those who have want the composting and the manure and give them different techniques, and the commercial farmers in the greenhouse and those the hydroponic system. Farmers want to see the extension staff. Farmers want, and if you're gonna work have an experiment with a farmer, you can't come to the farmer and plant plant the whole acre of banana or melon. No, you say watch out. Me gonna plant the half a bed here. This how me gonna come every week and work on this half a bed here and me take care of them. And you're gonna do your trade and then we're gonna make comparison. That's how you do things. And once you can trust that man that this is, then you can encourage him to plant a one bed. You see what I mean? And they may end up and start a two bed because you realize what I'm showing him makes sense. I have convinced many farmers to plant big because and this extension officer could not encourage them to plant one seed. And I encourage them to plant, you understand, 3,000 plant and they get a melon cell. So there's an approach because it means when you don't go the crop, they should be able to get the crop sell and you have to convince them how that crop will be sold and where it will be sold. So it's not just it's it's just management system and know how they put, but you got to be hands on.
Banky, I want to ask a question, right? It's slightly half of what you are asking right now. In listening to the prime presentation the other day, right? He spoke to the Tabasco company in
Louisiana.
and then went on the trip with them. But
Yes.
your thoughts on well, what he presented is the fact that he said that they are closing some deal in regards to having plat. I think he said that the plat is already in cultivation already, where they're going to be growing peppers for the Tabasco company. Um,
Where is that? Are they doing a trial? I know when we was on the trip last September, if it was, the September, time to fly so far sometime, the September before. We had went over to every island, can big up Hadia Clarkson, because she's the chief lawyer for the company, and over in
mhm.
every island. 100 old company, you understand? Warehouses bigger than Valumar, just stack up with preserve, you understand, pepper sauce in wooden barrel and stuff like that. Millions of barrel of just they so the Tabasco sauce one using at their home right now. that's been aged. The Tabasco, this pepper they use in this pepper that's been aged for maybe 20 years or 25 years. So wherever Tabasco peppers are harvested now is put into storage with salt and store in a barrel for them never age. So it will show you how much stuff they have stored. But one of the stuff being there and realize they have places in the US in farmers, the contract farmers to go. They get on the seeds and go to the different varieties of jalapeno and different type of peppers, scorpion and stuff, depending on
But
the mild
seemingly,
and the
seemingly that is why.
yes.
Seemingly
I'll
that
come
is
and
the
let you know. I'm
point
gonna
for
go to you and learn
syndicates.
exactly what is what. Yes, because what happened, we were showing them that our soil type is still different to a lot of places. We're unique, and every place where our stuff are grown, the flavor is different, and we have the ideal place we can grow these peppers all year round. So the idea was to get a trial a area in Nevis and one in St. Kitts and give it, and then they can always get a can shop where farmers can go this and get there and they'll buy. You'll go it and they buy it straight off of you. That is what they do. So places in China, in the Philippines, and Honduras and stuff like that, growing their peppers and they just buy it, farmers just buy it off of them. So you give it a seed and and you just grow the peppers and you guarantee the pepper price and that's it. So I'm glad it's after. I've been waiting. I'm glad it's after they have started it because I've been waiting for a while. Cause the department, the ministry, all the I have the department knows about this. I mean, the director, the minister. Cause I set up meetings for them to meet the minister and all the different stuff. When the delegation came down from Southern University, every time they come down, make sure they come over to Nevis and meet with the Department of Agriculture and the minister and stuff like that. That's something I always put in place and make sure it happen because
Okay,
I don't
so
want something happening
okay,
in St.
so
and Nevis isn't a part of it.
one of the reasons why I throw it on the table, right, Banky, is
Yes.
from another standpoint. Because while all that is good and you're guaranteed a pay price and you're going for international company, what happened to the local pepper companies between St. Kitts and Nevis who, even at present, are having problems in having the startup pepper for their development and to develop their brand so that they could get to the point where they can maybe either be competing with Tabasco or maybe even Tabasco embracing them as a part of um, their brand versus just going to supply a certain brand.
You see, one of the thing, we are very niche because when they came down for the trip and then we met at on the beach by Andres and Sunshine, I was showing them our regular local variety seasoned pepper because I've realized our seasoned pepper that we have that we use a lot, very flavorful. That look like they are hot pepper. They'll think it's hot pepper.
Hmm.
When they realize they eat it, the whole executive staff was blown away. They can't believe because they put different stuff and nothing and in the process is wasted. Part of the process is sold to companies who make icy hot and all and stuff like that. So that the company making money in all different angles for in the sporting area. So our season paper that we use in our hot sauce, we have a very very unique brand of different style of doing hot sauce and different stuff, But it's just that marketing is a part of it. And I can go hot sauce, hot peppers if anybody want. But they gotta contract me to when I go it, they gotta buy it because I'm not gonna go it, I'm gonna fight to sell it. You see what I mean? If you want me to grow it, then I'll grow it for you, that's not a problem. But I'm gonna just grow it and wait because you come on you want 10 pound a season a hot pepper and then after that I got hundreds of pounds on each just they're going as a waste. That makes no sense. If I grow it, you take all I can harvest, you take all the time, and that's it. But it's a good initiative. I mean, as I said, partnering and so on discussion when it comes to, but that's a big company. Not cause they have their own brand. When you go there, they have a whole island with salt, and they have their own restaurant, and they don't even take cash on the island. It's just all no cash you spend there. Everything, and then they still have their own apiary. Where they have all the bees, the honey, and all the different stuff. So it's a whole island. You understand? And then they do tours, you know, and stuff like that, show the gardens and all kind of different stuff, a lot of stuff there to do. So, I mean, there's a lot we can do. The agriculture is the future, which is now, but we really got to make the investment. And our people really got to be trained in value added products and all this different stuff because it's just one product. These people, one product had SARS, and it's just billions of dollars shipped, sold all over the world. But in Louisiana, that's the corporate office. But they have offices in Taiwan, China, all over with it, and everywhere it is exported to, the labeling is in that country name. You understand the language and all this different stuff, so they know where go to Taiwan, go to this place, what will come to Nevis if it's special order and all these different things. Everything is done in one place, under one roof. On so it's just to see how everything operate in in an environment where the value chain from the field and the process you walk through, and you still have it where you go, as a tourist you go through and show the process, the peppers and all this stuff, and you go through a glass section and walk through and you see the packaging. Beautiful thing. These are things can be done here. Anything can be
Well,
can be done here.
that's the kind of point. That's the kind of point I was getting at when I asked about the fact that yeah, it's all good to ship to a company, an international company, but then you have companies like, let's say, Brimstone Flavors. They had a pepper sauce in Sinkage, which was very big. Why not seek to invest in these brands and get our brands, help farmers who are struggling to get the pepper sauce to
But
maintain
yeah, son,
the kind of
yeah, son,
quantity and
all that.
quality they need and so on. Yeah.
But yeah, son, even on that trip, we even met with two members of the FDA who, with the university, was visiting the university, and we had big meeting with them, yeah, for hours. Where they well want us to send for them so they can come to Sinkis Nevis with the Department of Agriculture, show your people how the standard they're looking for when it comes to shipping out the soil drinks, their leaves, the different type of fruits and vegetables. These people want this island to ship stuff to the US, you know. They want to partner with us, you know. The minister, they know this information, you know. I give this information when I take trips, and I give you a write up, I give you a recommendation. All these things we set, everything just was in perfect alignment. Where you see the two of the top guy in the FDA, you understand, where they can give you the training, tell you what they want to do, no pest, no this, and they want your bush tea, they want your cereal drink, they want your sauce, they want everything from here, you know. So it's not just about the hot pepper thing, you know. The information is there in a virgin. It's just something I think we'll just move slow. What this university will send, they will come down here with their own money, you know. The FDA them, you know. You understand? That is how you have to say, and the contact and the come and set show you what is needed and all these things. These people are more happy to do with us than we even know these things. You understand? So it's just the way thing we go about. I mean, I don't know what for what they're working on these things, but everything you're talking about is in place. Everything. So it's just for us to take advantage of of these opportunities.
Okay, Alan, you on mute. You on mute. You on mute.
Alan, your mic,
You mute.
you
You
mute.
mute.
Yeah, yeah, I'm here now. Um,
Yeah.
to realize I ain't want to answer my question, then more the rest of me just, you know what I mean?
Which one that?
But
But
Which
I
question
think
that?
we answered that already.
you did
You
not.
didn't think you get a comfortable answer?
You try to, you
Uh,
have been done on the board? That one you asked
listen,
yourself,
No,
not you.
yeah, he asked how we feel if we feel that any progress has been made with Rastafari and the board. And I did explain to you, I tell you, like, well, from the board, if you're talking about the board that has been set up, nothing has been done from the board, so I can't really say anything. But in regards to prior to that,
so
I
yeah, but
could have seen
you're
where.
not yeah, wait, okay, watch
Go
out.
ahead.
Cause damn it, me does ask preliminary questions, baseline
Hmm.
questions, and then me does really get where me a try to go. So, and when me preliminary question, the people kind of hang up, that are what does confuse me. Cause me not even get
Hmm.
to me another set of question. So, for instance, Rastaman is on the board, you ain't speak to him.
No, no.
All right.
But there ain't no,
Um,
there is going to general public period about cannabis.
Exactly. So nothing was brought to us. So there was nothing. What we planned to do, we had planned to bring them on the platform to have a discussion, but that never materialized.
I understand. How much longer are y'all gonna give these people?
Is this
How
a
much?
Rasta thing, or this is just a go of
Listen, I talking about the board. No, me I talk about the board now.
the
So you
board
not got to
or the
feel
board? I
like me
got
have
you.
against Rasta. Because watch it.
No,
Even when me ask about Rasta, me only ask about Rasta because Rasta is on the board now. So me thought you would get some kind of
of
little
course, of
insight.
course.
I thought the whole purpose of them
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
being there is so that the information could disseminate to Rasta, so Rasta got representation. That's what me thought in my mind.
Okay.
or
So, so that even make a ask you. So why you tell me I not talk to them and them
No, we had no conversation. Well, at
within
least
our
me.
private. So this is how come now I'm moving on to the another. This could be the clincher.
yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
I could recall we had the conversation with the Jamaican gentleman, and I was the
Mm-hmm.
most aggressive in telling him, yo, them people are more slow. Me
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
done I tell her that how come I start off and I tell her me
And
done
what the
tell her yo.
gentleman say? What the gentleman say? What the gentleman say?
And he apologized for them. He gave a similar kind of answer to the Rasta in terms of like, well, it's only been this little amount of time, but they
Exactly.
progress,
It's never too.
but they
That's the whole
progressing.
point.
That and that's how come I reach now to this now.
Yes.
So how much
It's,
longer?
it's
How much
because the
longer?
thing is because it's never too late, and we're progressing well, and this is what you'll hear, progressing well, and it's time and all this. That's what you're gonna hear.
Listen, I shocked. Yes, and yeah, tell me now about how there was this board, and from me, no myself, nothing to do from that
Yes,
part there. It's still the parts of the legislation what ain't active, and that there is nearly 5 years now. So you got another 5 because you're impatient about the politician them with the accountability. How much longer? And we're not talking about general accountability now. We're talking about accountability in the cannabis part. How much more patience I got? I tell her, I got but mine done
yeah,
when it
but
come to that.
while going along with this, and the government itself still piggybacking and in their own in tourism when it comes to music festival, they're doing different events with it. You understand what I mean? So it just show you the move in one when they promote it in one car. You see, this is tourism season now. This is carnival coming up. So my eyes open to see what kind of event they're gonna be having and all of this. So you see, Culture Man just went big 50th anniversary, nothing about cannabis, no carnival coming up, and this is their big tourism season. Cause I
See,
don't see the cruise boat coming in. I'm gonna see what's next. What
and this is what me try to tell you. You buy into the chop because cannabis
yes,
ain't a big season thing, yeah? Cannabis
yes.
is a random
All year round.
Tuesday story thing. Anytime, in a gonna time
Of
when you got too
course, of
much,
course.
in a
Yes,
gonna time. This is what we're talking about. So me now wait for music festival or cultural hour we see what them
of
a do.
course. Yes.
Them done had enough time to do what them a do. But me
Because I
still
have
ask
budget and all this different stuff.
are you still got more time?
Well, as you see, only
Okay,
we have any topic in
okay.
about it,
Let me present you a hypothetical. If when
Yes.
I invite the Rastaman and he tell I, well, bye, we had couple meetings,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but basically is the status quo. How I ever take that? Like
Well, they're
cool?
still in this,
It
but
just,
they're
it
still
just,
for the same, but they're still in the same. But if you're gonna be a part of something and then it going against you, still gonna sit in there. Yeah, you're gonna vacate. Because
oh,
if something is
and
not going, we have to just
and
you just have to oppose sometime.
what me I say too is, all right, it been couple months, you're in there now. You need to be coming out with something. Nobody feel like he gonna be you come go talk and you say, boy, you know, it's just couple months and you know, we don't even got office yet. If I been got office yet, you better be making noise. And part of the problem is you see how bank say, boy, them man even got office. If them man still not gonna office, and because I in there, I now make no noise, I chopping this I do. That what me wanna realize what taking place. I got to watch who be sending in there, you know. Where's the will switch?
Who we send? Who we send?
You got okay. Let me
We had
change.
not
Let me
say.
no. Let me change. Let me change because words are sensitive. You gotta watch your representatives. Me not send Dr. Jew up to the UN. Your son, but he represents Sinky son. I represent Rasta. I ask you a question. I represent Rasta.
Yeah, he represent Rastafari.
So your representative was in there. Since that's a better word, your representative, monitor the flex. That's bad advice.
No, but basically, what I'm saying to you is that was what we would have been doing over the time. We didn't get a chance to speak to these new members of the board because I was supposed to talk to the head. We had an agenda to speak to the head of the board, as a matter of fact, but she was not able to. Well, we had issues and she had issues at the time. And we are
Next week at
open
the
to.
last Tuesday. Next week is the last Tuesday because is a while now. Me hear you talk about that, then, you know, and all of a sudden, no, I can't
Well,
get, I can't get it, man. They
no,
have
no, no, no,
they
no,
have
no, no.
schedule they have scheduling
No, no,
conflicts.
no, no,
Mm-hmm.
no, 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 no. Not, I was not speaking about IY and Ras Aya. I think we could get Ras IY and Ras Aya almost at any time. When I said the head of the board, I was
Rastaman,
speaking about the lady who is now supposed to be
Rastaman.
the head. I did
Mm.
make an arrangement with her, but we got some issues
It,
with that, so we need to sort that
I,
out.
I could tell you it's a while now. Them man and a couple months now. In
Mhm.
happened last month. Is a
Well,
while now.
Banky,
Is a
we
while
could
now.
see if
Why you tell me? But we gonna look into getting IRI. Where IRI? And me
okay. So
ain't
Banky,
hearing IRI making no noise. So when IRI come and say, "Boy, here we got office, long time and things going smooth." Otherwise, IRI sitting down and nothing happening, and IRI ain't saying nothing. Rasta
I
representative.
hear you. I hear you. So Banky,
Yeah,
within the week, we
yeah,
have to probably see if we could get in touch with
yeah.
IOI and Ras Aya and see if we could get one or even both of them. Well, I don't, we will be able to facilitate both? No, because we don't have the space, right?
Watch out. I would even no. We gonna do one at a time. But all what me
Yeah, we have
say,
to do one at a time.
especially
Mhm.
from the Nevis end, IRI,
Yeah, IOI. So
don't bother
we will
had,
seek to get
don't
IOI. We
bother
will seek
had
to get IOI for next week.
don't bother had all of the energy there outside, and this need to change, and Rasta need to be part of it. And then when Rasta in there, nothing happen, and you're quiet all of a sudden. I'm telling you, you don't know anything we go after. Cause
No,
uh,
fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough. And I think we are due uh a report from at least somebody from inside here, so we could kind of get an idea what's going on where that is concerned. So
that
yes,
that are
I
the whole purpose you got in
yeah,
there. And I be don't need to know
yes.
no
So
private nothing, but you got to come with something.
right,
And if nothing
right,
go on,
right.
as I say, as me say, me
Tell
cover
us nothing
all
go on.
bases. No, not only nothing
Hmm.
now go on. Tell me why nothing now go on, and all of a sudden you're quiet about the nothing now go on. Cause when nothing been a go on and you been outside, you been say, well, this need to happen and that need to happen, and we what now? You know. So make sure he got something to tell I could say good night after. That's how
So
come I tell
Banky,
I got to defend Rasta with that cannabis thing, yeah.
Banky,
Me not see
I'm
nothing
gonna
go
leave
on.
you with
Rasta ain't
see
bugging.
if we could get IOI link up for the next week. And the topics. I think that should be a good enough conversation to cover the entire program. You know what I mean? To deal with the cannabis issue, the cannabis issue on a whole, also to deal with the new board and what is being done or what is not being done, and why the silence from a very strong advocate such as Ras IRI or himself. So that's a good way to end the program. I will definitely seek to reach out to Ras IRI Banky, if you can as well, see what we can do to make that a reality for next week. And we do this once more. It's always a pleasure in Alan and Banky. Alan, usually controversial, popping some stiff and challenging questions and keep us on our feet and keep our minds flowing and growing at the same time. So yeah, the folks who usually with us, some regular listeners, probably have some new listeners who just pop in. Usually this show is aired every Tuesday. We are not on every Tuesday. Usually it's the last Tuesday in the month that we have the culture teaming up with the topics. But Reese, the usual co-host, would have been here from activities that he would have had over the past couple of days and weeks. And so we gave him a rest tonight, and we decided to team up with Alan tonight and give him some support and some strength. And it's always a pleasure, being with the Real Entertainment Network. So people, we look forward to seeing you again next week. And we're hopeful that we would have Ras IRI on the platform to talk about cannabis, Sinkits and Nevis, and the new cannabis board, his role and responsibility. And then I guess eventually we can seek to get Ras Aya, and I will then seek to go back to see if we could reschedule a time for the new head of the board, and so we could hear it from the, as they would say, the horse's mouth. As if we get the head of the board before us, might be even better still. So at least we could hear from the horse's mouth where that is concerned. You see, Monkey get chip out, he cut out for whatever reason. But
Yeah, but yeah, son, I want to make a request, right? If make sure that if they come in and they could talk, if they're gonna come on and they're gonna say, well, I don't have any clearance to talk about that, ask the minister. No. Make sure that they have the authority to speak. That's it. As long as they could talk,
okay.
they do one thing. As me say, me no need to know private conversation down to the wire. Me talk about the general direction that we're heading in with this. If the man can't talk in general terms, well, I can't even ask nothing specific.
Well, and that's the thing, because like I said, well, I guess that I'll have to figure out myself, because like I said, for me, the only thing I would have heard names of members of the board, that a new board has been set up, and we have heard the names of the members of the board. Other than that, we have not heard anything from the board. But for me, let me say me, I have not heard anything. I have not spoken to Ras Aya. I haven't spoken to Ras Aya. I would have spoken to the head of the board only in relation to seeking to get her on the program to have a discussion on the topic. That was the length and the level of our interaction. In terms of what has been happening and any updates and so on, I have not gotten any updates or had any conversation in regards to that. So I would be looking forward to get the information, just as the public is seeking to get the information as well. So I will reach back out to her, and I'll reach out to Ras IY. And in the case of Ras IY, I don't know what he would be privy to say, but I'll find out if he is privy to speak, whether in general or more specific terms, so that we can have an open and level platform. In regards to her as well, I would seek to reschedule a time with her and ensure that she would be free to speak and address whatever possible questions you may have, Alan. Well, it seems as if everybody has freeze up. What's going on here? Even me freeze up too. People, you gotta let me know what's going on. If you could hear me, or if I just hear talking to myself. Because seemingly Alan has frozen, and Banky has frozen as well.
I think Banky
But
might have stolen Alan's connection.
that's what happened there. Okay. Well, well, he did say good night already anyway, so I was just giving my closing wrap up. So Ras Ira, we're gonna be looking at getting Ras Ira and for next week. We look forward to another interesting edition. It was a pleasure really being with Banky and Ira as usual. So Ira and the team at Real Entertainment Networks. Until next week, enough love, Rastafari guidance and protection.
Yes, I. Banky see Alan.
Even. I don't laugh half boy.
Hold on.
I don't do show.
1 second, cause you know you log in on the wrong